On Triple M, the home of the good times and greatest hits. My name's Holly. You're listening to Rural Focus. That was a bit of Duffy Mercy. And we're chatting to Jane Coffey, Professor Jane Coffey, with the School of Management and Marketing at Curtin University. Good morning, Jane.
Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here in Williams, I must say.
Yes, you are. You're out in Williams. You're headed to the Williams CRC today. And there's a program called EnrichHER that we were actually speaking about earlier in the week on the show. You guys are halfway through it between Curtin Uni and Triple R Network. So for people who haven't heard of the EnrichHER workshop before, what is it and what could participants expect from the experience?
Okay, I think it's a wonderful program, and we've literally been running it, and we've been, it's been morphing and changing as we've been going along since 2022. So we actually started in Kalgoorlie. So through word of mouth, there's more and more demand. So what we try and do is, if there's some interest in a region, in an area, with Kendall at the Triple R Network, it's a case of, okay, if you can get 20 women together, we'll be there. So it's really quite transformative. It's specifically for regional women, which makes it quite different. And it's really grounded in Stanford University's Life Design program. But it's about helping women take ownership of their lives. And so it's not just careers, because your career is part of your life, right? It's not your life. So it's around taking ownership of their lives, which really does incorporate their careers, their family. They might be at a point where they're stuck, because we get stuck, we have career shocks. It might be young women who have just entered the workforce. It could be women who have taken a career break to look after family. Women who are on farms and looking at the next stage of their life. We call them the encore careers. So it's for any woman at any point in their lives. And even those who are looking to leave the paid workforce, going to semi-retirement, but they don't want to retire from life, right? It's around what do they want to do for their next part of their career, which may be voluntary.
Amazing. I can imagine it will be so inspiring at the end of today, walking out of there with those tools. Now, the thing that makes this conversation so relevant and appropriate for Rural Focus is the fact that it's taking place out in Williams. And I've got to ask, I guess the big question is, why is a workshop or a program like EnrichHER particularly valuable for people who are living and working in, our rural, regional, remote communities?
I think it's because, we've been working with regional women since 2022. We're actually career researchers. We do a lot of work in the career space. We have got to develop to a point where we've developed a really good fundamental understanding of, one, the research about the regions, but about regional women's careers. And we also understand it's not a one-size-fits-all. We know that every region has its nuances, has its own challenges, has its own opportunities. So we can take that to the workshops, that knowledge that we are building up, and help them develop those connections. So we can link them in with people. We can talk to them about the experiences in other regions. We can give examples. We give examples of the community of practice that is built up in these regions as a result of these workshops. So we understand the challenges, that feeling of isolation, and we understand women, which I think is really, really important. The challenges that women have with balancing family, work, carer responsibilities, particularly in regional areas. So it's really important for these women to know that we do understand. We've got the research to back what we're saying, and we know that every region is different.
So if someone's listening and they're like, this sounds like a fantastic idea, something that I would be interested in attending in the future, what would you say to someone who is considering attending but isn't quite sure if it's for them?
Yep. Well, first of all, we are continuing to do these. We now have, because of word of mouth, CBH has very kindly sponsored this one in Williams. The last one was in Geraldton a few months ago, and that was sponsored by industry as well, by Mitsui. So to a woman considering it, I would say just absolutely give it a go.
Yeah.
And I think that is the magic formula in this is they're developing connections with other women that will continue past the 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like the sundowner was pretty enjoyable last night. It's all about connecting, like you said. And what have you got to lose? It might be just one of those things that you give it a crack and then you find that you come out of it feeling maybe enlightened or inspired at the end. Jane, thank you so much for your time this morning. I better let you go because the program day 2 does kick off very soon. Enjoy the day.
I will, and stay safe and warm.
Will do. Professor Jane Coffey from Curtin University holding the Enrich Her program with Triple R Network in Williams today. You're listening to Rural Focus on Triple M.